he saw on this social media page.
You represented at the bench that none of this, that being the writing on the right side of the picture, which we're all squinting at because it's tiny on the piece of paper. And so I am relying upon you to actually be honest with the court and opposing counsel so that we can deal appropriately with the evidentiary issue. Was any of it being offered for the truth? And you said no. And then you turned around, and after it was admitted over the overruling of the hearsay objection, based on the representation that nothing was being offered for its truth, you drew the witness's attention to the phone number and tried to have the witness testify to whose phone number it was. If that is not offered for the truth, what is it?
Your Honor, it explains what steps he next took. It wasn't that he sat there and took this phone number and said, okay, this is Justin Cobb's phone number. He went and sought records based on what he saw on this social media post. So it's not, this post can't prove anything, but I do expect that the witness will testify based on what he saw, regardless, because it's a legitimate.
Why can't you just, at the bench, when you know that the reason you're offering it is for the phone number, and then to ask the witness other questions about what he did based on that phone number and seeing that phone number, say to everybody so that we know what we're dealing with, you know, it's this phone number, and then I'm going to ask him XYZ about the phone number, and then we'll know what we're dealing with.
Because my understanding that what was being objected to.
Mistrial was appropriate.
I can't figure out what it is. If it's disingenuous, if it is that, I don't want to malign the prosecutor standing in front of me right now, so I'm not going to say the possible things that it could be, but it is baffling to me that somebody with the number of years of experience that you have, time after time after time, continues to seemingly purposefully hide the ball to the extent you possibly can for as long as you possibly can. And I really don't want to believe that it is purposeful, but honestly, after a certain number of times, you start to wonder how it could be anything but that, unless it is just that you are so unorganized that you are throwing this case together as you try it. And I am sorry to say that, but this case is being made much more difficult for everybody because of the haphazard way in which it is being presented. I'm going to take a recess for a few minutes. I'll have a ruling when I get back.
Could this finally be it for the clown show? Yes, the motherfucking clown show is how I have referenced this trial time in and time out. And I started hearing other people say that too, but hey. Anyways, man, haphazardous, dishonest, playing games with the truth. Just like you're hiding the ball. All these years of experience that you have, and you know better than this, and you're still flunking around. And I just see this too many times. I don't want to just flat out say you're doing this on purpose, but at this point, with all this unorganized BS joke of a prosecution ass games that you're playing, I can't really see it as anything else other than you're doing this on purpose. And, you see the judge just was like, I got to get the fuck up out of here. I got to take a recess. You know what I mean? Like, I'm done. I don't know if she'll be back with a ruling. I mean, will we get this mistrial? A lot of us, myself included, thought when we saw Judge Whitaker, which, again, guys, this is the third judge, third time's the charm, when she got on and started making all these rulings and calling out a lot of the BS and malarkey that had been going on. Because recall, third judge, first judge, is recused from the case, right? Then the second one right away is gone because of some funny style ish that she had someone that was a part of her staff that was involved in like a romantic relationship and all this, I don't even want to say borderline criminal activity, flat out criminal activity, was tied to the second judge. So it's like the case is already a mess. Then you bring on a judge that at this point we're blurring the lines between, the good guys and the bad guys, so to speak, metaphorically speaking. So then we get this third judge on. And again, guys, as soon as she got on, she let it be known, I'm not here for the BS. Because, a lot of people thought this judge may call grant the mistrial off the rip, but she didn't. She just was very stern with a lot of the rulings and the way things were going to have to start being presented, and people were going to have to start being more professional with the way they go about this case. And then here we see now more BS going on. And at this point, it seems she's just not sick of the BS, where she's flat out having to call out, people with all these years of experience for just being on goofy time. It seems she's embarrassed to be a part of this, man. And you see what rapper 40 Glock is saying here. He's saying, yo, more or less, I'm paraphrasing y'all, but this is ish that happens to individuals in the hood all the time that get railroaded, and that's actual factual. You know what I'm saying? Young Thug just happens to have some bread and be a successful rapper, and he was able to combat against the fluggery, but there's a lot of individuals all the time that, don't have paper like that, and they get railroaded, you know what I mean? And I'm wondering if this could really be it, if she will indeed grant the mistrial. But this is just a joke. You see a lot of people saying, like, yo, it's clear as day. The state just came at Doug, overcharging the fuck out of him, bringing stuff in. Like you heard him, we're looking at a social media post where we got to squint to look at the writing to make out what it says. And then the line of questioning in which you're trying to go based on it, you're doing it all like a goofball sucker. You know what I'm saying? Like they were basically just hoping Young Thug would plea out like a lot of the other individuals did. And then we saw the way that went with a lot of the cats that did take those plea deals, where they had to testify, honest and everything like that, or their deals could be revoked. We saw witnesses being so hostile, basically refusing to testify, and it's just a joke all around across the board. And seeing this judge walk out really says something to me, man. Like I was always surprised. I forget how many states there is, because again, with this being a RICO case, but not a federal RICO case, a state RICO, that was something that I did not know existed until a few years back. And I forget how many states there is that has the RICO statute. But I don't know, this kind of speaks to like why that's some bullish that can be, you know what I mean? Because a federal RICO is something totally different in the sense, and I speak of that by saying you would never see, the feds will play some games, and the way they go about doing things can get tricky, but they will have their ducks in a row, metaphorically speaking. You know what I mean? What you're seeing here is just goofy time, a bunch of goofy-ish. They already knew from Jump Street that this was going to be the longest trial in the history of the state of Georgia. And, I don't know. I think we might really see Thug a walk, man. Free Young Thug. Judge Whitaker's sick of it. Again, like I said, to me, it seems she's just flat out embarrassed. She's got to just tell it like it is to these prosecutors. Like, yo, I don't want to call you this. I want to give you the benefit of the doubt, but you just keep playing these games to the point there's no other way to look at it than you are a straight clown, and you should go get a job at the circus, you lame Jane-ass prosecutor. So there y'all have it, man. What do y'all think? Will Thug a walk? I don't know if she's already came back with the ruling or whatever, but regardless if he don't, I think he's going to beat this case, man. And he stood tall. He didn't cop no pleas. He just kept it 100. he kept it, look, that he kept it a thou out. The weight of the state of Georgia, not the weight of the world, right? The weight of the state of Georgia on his shoulders, trying to make him crumble. He didn't crumble like a lot of other cats in this case did. There's a few other, I think, that stood tall like Doug did. But you see, a lot of this just more or less seems like it was all a mind game, a mental game, right? We're just gonna try to scare you into a plea deal. And, you know, he wasn't going. So stay tuned for updates, but let's discuss this. As always, if you're new, it's all about hearing from the people in the comments. So tap in, subscribe. It's coffee. I'm about you, y'all. Peace.